Hello everyone, this is Tim, and I want to talk a little bit about running adventures from modules. I've had the privilege slash curse of playing in several games that the GMs just pretty much just read word for word what was in the module. Yeah. Sometimes that can be bad. Uh, if the person is a very good reader and emphasizes key points by raising their voice or using body language while they're reading, that can help. But I find it best when I run things from modules to read over the module like once or twice, and in the margins, if you don't mind writing in your module, normally I print mine off. I usually have them as PDFs, and I can just scribble on them whenever I want. You can do that, or you can just take notes, like different rooms or different sections of the module, just like summarizing basically what's in there. Sometimes it's best to summarize versus reading all of the description. I know someone has gone to the trouble of trying to pick the right words for these kind of things, but when there is lots of text and you're reading a lot to your players, they're going to tend to nod off. They're not going to really be paying attention. Sometimes they make you read it again because they weren't paying attention. So if you have the key points down, you know what you can quickly just spit out, and it would be up to you and up to your discretion what you want to say and what you want to ignore, because a lot of times the modules are pretty verbose. They just kind of ramble on, kind of like some of my videos do. But it's something to really think about when you're running a module. I know sometimes the main, I guess, selling point of modules is that you don't have to make them yourself. They're already made. You kind of expect them to be, fairly high quality. You expect them to be interesting. Maybe ideas that are present in those modules you would never be able to come up with in the first place. So those are all selling points of modules. It's just the delivery of modules I think people need to maybe work on, or just try to come up with different ways to do it. Because, just as an example, especially if you use like a monotone voice. Okay, so picture I'm a GM, okay? Maybe I didn't have enough sleep the last night, didn't have enough time to make my own thing, so I grabbed the module off the shelf, and I'm going to run this module. I've never read it before, I have no idea what's going on in it. So basically the GM's going through the module as the players are going through the module. And that can be bad, especially if they're not supposed to reveal certain things, or there's just certain parts that really aren't written that well and probably should just be ignored. Usually when I run modules, I don't know. I'll use it as a set of guidelines, and I will ad lib on top of it. I will add things to it. If I think the monsters in there or whatever are a little bit silly or don't really fit the mood, maybe I think another monster will fit the mood better, I'll swap those out. Things like that. And the dreaded block text is the worst. When there is a wall of text there that the GM is supposed to read, and most of them do, they have a tendency to get that monotone, droning, can't think of the comedian's name that does the Visine eye commercials, but very boring, like teacher-esque. And then they went down the hallway, and there's green structures on the left, and it just goes on and on forever. Even if it's descriptions of the environment and other things like that, sometimes it just washes over the players, and they don't soak it in. I don't know. Have any of you encountered save versus block text? That's pretty much what I'm going to call this, I think. Where basically you have to make a saving throw, or you're just completely bored out of your mind. You're like, okay, when can we do things? Another thing about block text is that your character may want to intervene at some point in that module. That big soliloquy, pretty much it is, of just all these words. Like, I guess I can't do that now, because the block text just beat you over the face. So if you're a GM and you're running a game, try to keep in mind that the players may want to change events, and that you might have to ad lib a lot of the stuff that's in the module, because to not let them do that is, again, it's not that shared role-playing experience. I think it's more of like a top-down kind of thing. I don't know. So, what do you guys think of block text? Have you ever any problems with it? Have you been that GM that has the monotone voice? It doesn't really know what to do. Doesn't really deliver it very well. I don't know. What do you guys think about block text? That's all.